A recent graduate?
A novice teacher?
Wanna be a brilliant tutor?
Hi, my name is Khadija Musawi.
And I'm Khaira Zlilaf.
We are EFL teachers at ABC School of Foreign Languages.
And we're here to provide you some teaching tips.
In today's episode, we're gonna be talking about two major points:
icebreakers and warmers, or as we can call them, warm-up activities. Let's start.
First, icebreakers. To break a block of ice, one can use something with a sharp, hard edge like a hammer or an ice pick. However, in EFL classes, teachers are not going to get violent during their icebreakers. Quite the opposite. An EFL teacher can use activities like games, exercises, etc. to bring everyone's icy defenses down.
So, if it's your first time teaching or your first session with a new group of students and you don't know what to do when you first meet them, the right answer is icebreakers. So, what's an icebreaker? An icebreaker, by definition, is an activity or game teachers can do at the beginning of a course to literally break the ice between them and their students and among students themselves.
Icebreakers should be enjoyable and fun, as their main aim is to make students at ease and ready to learn. Shall we move from theory to practice?
Yes, of course. So, let's have some examples.
A first example that can be taken here is the name game activity. There are different games and activities where you can let your students introduce themselves, like the name game activity. For instance, bring a small ball and ask your students to form a circle. Student A says his name and throws the ball to Student B. Student B repeats A's name, says his name and then throws the ball to Student C. Student C repeats the previous names in addition to his name, and so on. Another way to apply this activity can be by asking students to draw a table on their copybooks that contain name, family name and age. Later, ask them to move around the classroom for 5 minutes. Ask each other and fill in the table. At the end, ask them to report back what they have already collected.
A second example of a game that can be used as an icebreaker is called Have You Ever? This can be applied in different ways. Let's see one of them. So you first ask the students to write a set of instructions. For example, stand up if you have ever been to Algiers, or turn around if you have eaten Chinese food, etc. Then they go one by one to the front of the classroom, face their classmates, read the instructions they brought, and the rest of the students have to follow these instructions or respond to these instructions. A final example of icebreakers is two truths and a lie. So first, you ask the student to write two true statements about themselves and only one lie. When a student says the three statements, the others try to guess the lie.
Moving to the most vital part in any English class, warmers or warm-ups. No one rolls out of bed and starts a football match without warming up. Why? Because your muscles wouldn't be warm enough for you to safely perform your best.
Similarly, as an EFL teacher, you have to warm your students' brains and get them ready for the lesson. So what's a warm-up? A warm-up by definition is the first 5 minutes in class where you have your students enjoyed and ready for their English lesson.
Lesson warm-ups help students move into a learning frame of mind where they can effectively focus, participate and learn.
The best warm-ups involve sort of collaboration and inspire students to either think about a new topic or activate their background knowledge. Let's illustrate what we have just said.
If you are willing to use that warm-up to pre-teach vocabulary they'll face throughout their lesson, or to introduce the topic you want to cover, here are two helpful activities to do so. 1. The A2Z game. You have a whiteboard and markers. Procedure. Give students a theme, for instance, jobs, things you take on holidays, food, etc. Write the letters of the alphabet from A to Z on the board. Later, divide students into two teams. The two teams must race to write an appropriate word related to the theme they were given next to each letter on the board. At the end, the team who writes more words, correct words, let me say, wins.
Number 2. Handkerchief tag. So, all what you need is a handkerchief and some chairs. First, you have to choose one student to be the speaker. Divide the students into two teams. Make them face each other. Put the handkerchief between the two teams. Then, give each student a secret word that must be given to another student from the other team. You can either whisper the words or give them these words printed on some flashcards. Give the speaker a list of words to be revised, and whenever the speaker says a word, learners who hold that word run to the handkerchief and try to pick it without touching each other. The one who picks it up first wins 1 point for his or her team. So, the team who collects more points is the winner.
On the other hand, these warm-ups can be used to motivate, put students in the mode of studying and have some fun. An example can be given here. Guess the picture. So, use a whiteboard and markers. One student comes to the front and starts to draw a picture. The rest of the students try to guess what the picture is before the person has finished drawing it. The student who finds the word first takes his turn.
That's it for today's episode.
Don't forget to
Like,
share,
and subscribe.
stay tuned. Bye-bye.